I saw him going in that direction once he got hurt, and then towards the end of the season, he became more of a pocket pass. He didn't use his legs as much. And if he can get that mindset on how to have his body, his arm tied to his feet, he'll become a better player, man. But it just comes with reps and reps and reps.
Welcome back to the middle. Barrett Brooks, Dan Cilio. I'm going to get an education here in a second here on Philadelphia sports when it comes to the Eagles and their inability to make sense and connect dots. And by the way, my aunt watches. She's probably thinking that I'm hating, so Barrett's going to have to. Watch this. I'm going to say this to my aunt. I'm going to watch how Barrett's mouth moves, but he won't believe what he's saying when he says it. Okay, just because we caught him in the last hour doing it. Let's see if he does. He's just stopped. You just stopped, dude. You said I can't do. I can't.
I can't, man. I can't, because I have to watch myself because the Eagles organization. I love them. I got my start with them, but they take score, man. They take score. Like if it was a whole lot of I told you so's, and you didn't believe in me, but I believed in myself. That's why we just won this Super Bowl. It is all me, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was a lot of that, bro. It was a lot of that,
Listen
see
here.
what I did.
Listen here.
See what I did.
See what he's saying here?
They keep score.
Is a prime example of accessibility in media today. And get this, he's right. Problem I have is how I've been fired. I go over the line and I have to remember we have working relationships. There's people in our buildings that sell things. So if you're constantly crapping on things, hey, this is just the way it is. That's why those radio stations in Philadelphia, you think they're going to go off the deep end on Howie Roseman, or do you think they're going to go off the deep end?
They're doing it right now, though. They are doing it right now. They are.
Because it's the off season.
Right, right.
No one's at the link. Okay? Let me tell you how people do this. Get a call from Mr. Bland over there with the Eagles. And all of a sudden, hey, Sirianni coming on your show? That ain't happening right now, man. We're going to get back to you here.
Right.
But it's not just in Philly. It happens across the NFL. That's why certain guys have more accessibility. Now, it's not a shot. You just have to be strategically smart on how you say this. And this is why, Barrett, it's good for you to be here with me because I have the propensity. And I did this. Dude, I was on the flagship station of the Bucks. Okay? 10 shares in destroying people. And I'm doing this. Mark Dominic is a freaking bookworm. The guy belongs at a library. They never put a buck on again. They did not during that whole time with Mark Dominic. And I go, that guy is the worst drafter I've ever seen. I go, listen, he's horrible. Every pick is terrible. He was 22 and 55. You know what my wife said to me, Barrett? She goes like this. Hey, congratulations. You're right. Wow, you were really right in the end. You got fired. How right do you feel? And I go like this. Well, I was right. She's like, congratulations, you're out of work again.
Right. See, that's it right now. And I try to be very calculated when I say something because I make sure they know that I'm not lying, number one. The fans know I'm not lying. But I make sure that my glass is halfway full. So, they know I'm telling the truth. And that's why I tell them, hey, am I lying? I got into it with a guy one time, an offensive lineman. And we're in the locker room. And they had just lost a game. And that's when you could go in before this COVID stuff was going on. And he had messed up on a screenplay. On a screenplay, the rules are saying football is football, no matter what level. The same things you do warming up in Pop Warner, high school, college, NFL, all the same. You run the same plays, they just call differently. So it's a screenplay. And when I'm on the show, I told him, I said, man, that was a bad play by the center. He messed up on the play. He didn't get to this place where he's supposed to be at. And because he didn't get there, it got blown up. So I go to the locker room. This certain guy comes and says, hey, man, you don't know what you're talking about, man. I said, no, you didn't get your guy. How do you know? You don't know the play? I said, hold on. You guys ran a screen, right? Well, you don't know the name. Don't worry about what the name of the screen is. I said, this is your assignment on the screen. On the screen, first guy out. First guy out is the first uncovered guy. He's in charge of going out and getting the mugger. The mugger is the guy who has the back man-to-man. You got to get him first. The second guy out is usually the center. He's got to get the widest man on the field. So it's usually a cornerback or a safety. He goes get that. The backside guard, what he does is he checks to see that nobody's running the screen down from behind.
But that guy knows that. That guy knows you know that.
Exactly.
After you make that clear to him, he's going to run to the PR guy. Hey, the guy's talking shit on me.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So then he did this. I said, oh, so am I wrong? Did I lie? Did you get the widest guy on the field? And he looked at me and said, but still, man, you can't talk. I said, no. I got to tell the truth, bro. And I'm going to continue to tell the truth. Don't be mad at me. He didn't go up and tell, he didn't go to me. He's like, all right, well, B. And, we had a nice conversation after that, and everything was cool. Everything was cool. But still, I had to go through and show him, look, I already know. I know the game. I know exactly what you need to do. I know all that stuff because I've been through it before. I had 12 years of that stuff ingrained in my head. I still know that stuff. Front side of zone plays is read or reach. Backside, leave one. You got to make it to the second level. I know when I get to the line, I got to find my shell. I got the cornerback, two safeties, and the cornerback. Then from there, I look at the first guy on the strong side. The second guy in is the Mike linebacker. That's how you find the Mike linebacker. If you have a 3-4, it gets even more. I got all that stuff in my head that just keeps coming out. And when I'm looking at film, that's the way I look at film. So when you mess up, I know you messed up. I have to be more deliberate and understanding that I have to make sure I don't cut myself off at the head. You know what I'm saying?
No, what you have to do is you have to make it so that you're being constructive and not destructive.
Yes.
In your approach. Big Sills likes to throw grenades. You like to make sure the guy doesn't throw grenades, which is the smart way to go. It is. You're being smart because you're not telling lies. But at the end of the day, my passion gets the best of me. And it's my greatest asset and my greatest weakness is that because me as a defensive guy, I'm trying to rip your freaking head off, man. I'm not saying you're not either, but you're more patient.
I have to be though.
Yes, you do. And hey, watch this. I'm still learning, Barrett. I'm still learning to be that guy because when I hate liars. Boy, do I hate bullshit artists and liars. I mean, they aggravate me more than any because there's no reason to bullshit anyone. There's just no reason for it. And when people bullshit people and lie to people, and when you're sitting there telling a story, when you're going, watch this. The Eagles, when I say this, you'll probably say it differently. The Eagles are a one-dimensional football team and limited passing.
Yep. That
sounds like a rip. See, you're going to, or not, and Barrett, I'm not speaking for you, but I'm just saying to me, I watch the Philadelphia, you're an easy offense to game plan against. Very simple. Keep this. This is what I'm going to do this year to Jalen. I got a book on him. I've got 100 hours of tape on him now. This is how I'm game planning Jalen Hurts this year. And you better be ready, homie, because we're coming for you. What I'm going to do is I'm keeping your ass in that box.
Yep.
I'm going to double cover Devontae and the first read. I'm going to make it so, Barrett. Watch this. I'm going to set the mousetrap. I'm going to let him have single coverage. I'm going to cheat that whole thing there, knowing full well he's going to have to go 5 yards down the field. And I'm going to be stout in the middle and run the ball. Keep that dude in the gap, in between the tackles or the ends. Keep him in that box, man. And my quarterback's going to get up 14 points. They cannot come from behind. They are not going to throw themselves out of trouble. You get a 7-10 point lead on the Eagles, they're done.
Yep. And that's what it is.
But that comes off like I'm hating when I say that. But that's the game plan.
Well, see, this is why I would have said. I said, man, I'm going to tell you the truth. defensive coordinators get paid millions of dollars to stop, all kind of offense, not just Jalen's offense, but everybody's offense. And what they're going to do is they're going to mush rush him. What mush rush means, they're going to keep him inside the pocket, let the defensive ends get to his level, and then they're going to stay there, and then they're going to try to press the pocket towards him, giving him no lanes underneath these rushes like he usually had last year. That'll keep him boxed up. Since he's going to be boxed up, now he has to go to his second and third read. By the time he goes to second, third read, we're going to make sure we have him double coverage on the guys he wants to go to, like the tight end and Smith. We're going to make sure Goddard and Smith. Now he has to go to somebody else. So now it's too much time for Jalen. Now he's starting to get worried, getting happy feet. That's how you stop Jalen Hurts. And you said the exact same thing I just said, but you said it more directly. I just said what defensive coordinators are going to game plan against him.
No, you're right. No,
I put it on somebody else instead of you.
I'm not very tactful. I'm just not, because I told Joy Taylor this a long time ago, and Barrett, you're really good at what you do. I really love talking with you here because you know the game, you see the game, you're more experienced with the game plan than I am because you've had more years in it than I have. Common sense would tell you that. I used to tell Joy Taylor, this is why this guy's not very good. This is why this guy's not very good. She goes on this diatribe, and I go, you know how I would handle that? That guy blows. I just saved myself 100 words. That guy blows. But you know what that does? My program director will go, dude, you said the guy sucks. I would say sucks on the air, radio. I go, the guy sucks. And the guy, and you got to give more context. I go, well, he's hitting 081 over the last 40 games. I mean, I'm not sure what else. I mean, he's got 2 home runs. He's hitting 081. What else should I say? Man, I'll tell you what, he's struggling at the plate. I know what you want me to say. Guy's struggling at the plate, but his past record shows that he's going to bounce back out of it. I go, we're almost at the All-Star break, man. He's hitting 081 with 2 homers. You're paying him $25 million. That's all you should say. Sit there and go, hey, man, he'll come out of it. Hey, man.
You're
fans
right.
See that? Maybe I'm more of a fan, Barrett.
Well, yeah. Well, see, just like New Jersey Fishing Maniac just said, he says, but Hurts has to learn a few things quick.
Like what?
I truly believe in my
Who's
heart.
Who's helping him?
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Who's going to help him this year?
He has to get outside help.
What?
He has to get outside help. Somebody's going to come and give him a viewpoint of what teams are going to do to him.
Michael Vick? Like that? Or Donovan?
No, I'm saying even deeper than that. I'm saying going to the Palmer boy.
Okay.
Going to him and helping him devise a plan because I saw him going in that direction once he got hurt, and then towards the end of the season, he became more of a pocket pass. He didn't use his legs as much. And if he can get that mindset on how to have his arm tied to his feet, he'll become a better player, man. But it just comes with reps and reps and reps. And believe Hurts is going to take those reps and reps and reps, which is why I believe, and I laughed at you because you said you're going to, you wouldn't pay Jalen Hurts $30 million. But Jalen Hurts is going to mess around, come out here and ball out next year, become a franchise quarterback, and they're going to have to pay him $35, $38, maybe even $40 million a year. That's just the going rate.
Hey, not with Quez Watkins and Zach Pascal are we going to see a franchise guy. Tom Brady makes those guys better.
Right.
Jalen is still in the process
of getting better himself.
He's still in the look at what they did. Okay, so everyone's like, hey, Seals, Josh Allen's first year, he blew out loud, he wasn't good. So what did Sean McDermott do the next year to make sure that they tried to make sure that guy elevated his game? They went to Minnesota and got Stephon Diggs for him to put in that offense so that he had a professional wide receiver in that offense so that they made sure the guys elevate. the evolution of getting better at the quarterback position, because you know what you're going to do? You're going to sit down and Stephon Diggs is going to go to Josh Allen. Hey, man, do you want me to sit on the route? Do you want me to go a little deeper on the route? You see how they're defending us here? Do you want to do a 12-10? What do you want me to do? I could turn and sit on it if you want.
Somebody he believes in.
And what you're doing is you're talking like that back and forth with a professional wideout. And that's what the wideouts are doing. These kids are still learning how to play. Jalen's still learning how to find them. By the way, it's not a rip. It's reality.
Well, Dan, you're absolutely right. I mean, it comes even with Mac, five got TO. 5 and TO would go, hey, man, I'm about to do this. Hit me when I'm open. You know what I'm saying? It might have been a rocky start. I mean, it's rocky at the end also, but that communication, if you don't have that communication, you don't know where the ball's going to go. You don't have a guy that can tell you, all right, on this route here, when I run this dig route, instead of running a dig route straight across, I'm going to bow it out a little bit, and I'm going to go get a little more down the field because he sees this happening. Only an experienced wide receiver can give him that type of information in order for him to now do that. I saw the same thing when I was playing with Coy Detmer and Irvin Fryer. He would tell him, hey, man, this is what's happening. This quarterback is he's sitting down on everything. So what I'm going to do is, since he's sitting down, I'm going right at him, and I almost look like I'm going to block him. I'm going to turn around, I'm going to box him out. And that way, just put it right on me. Don't put it away from me. Put it right on me. That type of communication goes a long way when you have a young quarterback and how you want this offense to get going. You have to have somebody that Jalen believes in, number one. He has to have the belief that this wide receiver knows what he's talking about. He didn't have that last year. He did not have that last year.
How about this, Barrett? We're going to learn more about the direction of the team after the draft. Because right now, Howie's got the cards close to his chest. Obviously, free agent. I mean, and like you said about the free agents, I mean, the rest of these guys, Stephon Gilmore, these are money guys that he's not going to pay any cash for, man. He's not going after any of these guys here. He's not going to go after any of these guys. Calais Campbell, give me a break. Calais is 35 years old. You're not bringing that guy in, even though I love the kid. I mean, you're not. So these free agent guys, that's why Derek Barnett probably makes sense, because if I'm going to look at this list, what's left, I'm probably going to go Derek Barnett because there's a familiarity. I know the player. He knows us. So, again, but these are not gambles. This is safe. This is all safe stuff. And how he's looking at it like this, Barrett, well, the NFC got worse. We haven't. We've stayed the same. And maybe his philosophy, I'm asking you because his philosophy is if we don't get worse, we're getting better. That's not really how you build a team.
Yep.
We're hoping for everyone else to F up.
Well, am
I wrong?
He said it before. If you're not getting better, you are getting worse. I mean, that's it. That is what it is. And why not go
better?
Well, they haven't. That's what I'm saying. So, would you go out and get a free agent linebacker, or would you draft a linebacker?
A guy like Bobby Wagner who had 174 tackles and has some juice in the tank? I'm all over that.
You can't do that, though, Dan. You can't do that. He's not going to spend the money for it. How about a guy like Quan Alexander, played with New Orleans? He's only 27 years old. Or maybe Jordan Evans from Cincinnati, who balled out in that game.
I'll take him.
He balled that game. Appreciate you, bro.
Hey, Morgan says, DK Metcalf, make it happen, Howie. 2 number 1 receivers. Watch Jalen Hurts elevate.
Yep.
You drafted him right. Give him the weapons. Morgan, I have relented to you and to Barrett. Okay, he's the guy. Fine. You're not helping him with Zach Pascal and Quez Watkins. No. You're not helping him.
They're going to trade for Devontae Parker from the Miami Dolphins. Watch what I tell you. They will not go out and get DK Metcalf. It's going to cost them too much.
Too much.
Way too much. And he's worth a first round, a number 1. He's worth a number 1. Either one of them, 15, 16, or 19. Whichever one you want to give him. He's worth a number 1 Because look, you see what they just got with the Cheetahs just got. I'm still
Five
dumbfounded about
picks.
it.
Five
A
picks.
first, a second, a
A
fourth.
fourth, and another, I think, sixth.
Oh my goodness.
5 picks, premium picks, and the contract.
Yes, and the contract.
See, I don't know if the picks scare Howie and the owner. I know the money does. And the money was the only thing. Hey, let me tell you another thing about that Andrew Berry guy. There was another potential indictment that could have happened. Yesterday, it was like they said there was no evidence. So he's completely innocent of everything. They gave that guy $80 million more to go to Cleveland, Ohio. And I'm going to say one more time to you. Hey, man, what made that deal happen was that the Texans got their 3-1s, even though they're spread out, and Deshaun got a raise. That's what that guy and that Mugaladia, whatever his name is, the agent, wanted. They got more money because it's more money in his pocket, and the team got what they wanted. You know what they look at it at the end of the day, Barrett? Who gives a shit what team it was?
Right.
It was the team that was willing to push their shit all in. Contract, raise, 3-1s. That's what they were looking for. Atlanta didn't put the money up they weren't going to put $100 million more in Deshaun Watson's pocket. Neither was Carolina because they were scared. They were nervous. Hey, I tell you this all the time about being all in on something. You can't have one foot on the ocean in the ocean and one foot on the beach and go like this, I'm all in.
Right.
The Eagles are notorious for doing this. I got one foot on the beach and one foot in the ocean. Yeah, I'm all in. Nah, not really. Man, you got to row out to sea sometimes with no oars, not knowing where the boat's going to go, and pray it gets you to the promised land. That's gambling.
One Super Bowl. One
Derek
Super Bowl.
Barnett.
One Super Bowl does not garner that you know what you're doing.
1-year wonders.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it was the perfect. That season was actually the perfect storm. It was
injured quarterbacks in the postseason that year.
Yep.
All of them across the board. The upset in Minnesota with Breeze getting beat on that play at the very end.
Yep.
All those things played out. And the biggest tactical mistake that the front office of Philly made was they thought that Super Bowl window was going to be open longer. And I'm going to say this to you, Barrett. If that guy catches that pass in New Orleans, if Alshon Jeffries catches that pass, the Eagles make it to 2 NFC championship games in a row. That guy Foles has a lot of Eli Manning in big games. That guy gets hot. He's firecracker hot. Okay? He is one of them dudes, man. And he goes on a roll like that. The whole history of Wentz and Foles and the Eagles could have been so different if Jeffries catches that pass. Instead, Guess what? It ended everything. They were still circling Broad Street thinking they had the parade going for 3 years, 4 years after that. And here we are right now, 9-8, talking about a football team that's middle of the road.
If he would have caught that pass, Carson Wentz would have been traded instead.
Yes, I agree 100% with you.
But I don't think Foles is, to me, not a starting quarterback. Foles is a guy who can come in and when he hits a hot streak, he's hot. But sometimes he's middle of the roads guy more times than not.
Would you trade a guy, though, that got you to 2 NFC championship games and won a Super Bowl?
No, that's what I'm saying. No.
I'm not doing that either.
I mean, look at the contract he got too. I mean, the contract to go to Jacksonville, he got like $88 million
off that game.
Yes, off that game. That's crazy.
Morgan says, this is why I love this show. They are honest and they keep it real, and they aren't what you see on ESPN. Hey, ESPN, man. ESPN is covering transgender stories and who should be the next president of the United States. I mean, to me, man, fans come here to listen to us talk sports, not our. My wife tells me this all the time, Barrett. You gotta love you. Will one day you're gonna meet my wife because I know you're gonna love her because she's kind of a little bit like your mom. Without the gun, Mrs. Brooks. Okay. Well, she wants to do though. She goes, "You think people come and listen to you for your stupid ass political opinion?" They barely listen to you for your sports opinion. Shut up. My wife was my producer for 20 years, man. KNBR in San Francisco. She was my national one, too, when I was at Fox Sports Radio. She produced with Tony Bruno.
Oh, get out.
She produced the Bruno show, too.
Wow, she's talented, man.
Oh, my God, man. Hey, she got Henry Aaron. Get this. My wife is relentless on getting guests on. So she calls up Henry Aaron. Probably my
what?
Oh, get this. Wait a minute. It's a great story. So I told she goes, who's your favorite athlete? I go, Hank Aaron. Next to Ali, and obviously Ali couldn't do interviews, but I go, Henry Aaron. She goes, why? I said, because no one ever looked at him, and they always looked at Mantle, and they always looked at Mays. All of a sudden, you went one year and did this, Barrett. You looked up, holy shit, he's got 700 home runs.
Right.
He was just that guy. Plus, they wanted to kill him for breaking a white guy record. And I just wanted to know what it was like. And so she goes, okay. She calls him up. He goes, Henry Aaron's on line one. He's eating ribs at his BMW place in Atlanta. And I go, you're kidding. He's ready to go right now. And I said, put it down. I did an interview with Hank Aaron, and Hank was so unbelievable, man. He's like one of the greatest interviews I ever did was talking with him. You know, he talked about Roberto Clemente and how Clemente, he thought, actually had a harder stay in America than what Jackie Robinson did, because Roberto couldn't speak the English.
Oh,
when he first came to, and you know, they were calling him Bobby Clemente. They were disrespecting his name and all that. That's why Roberto never really had a great affection for the media. And he's going into all this, man. It was just a history lesson. When you listen to Hank Aaron, I go, did you think you were going to get killed when you were rounding second base, when those kids came out and grabbed you? And Hank goes, nah, man, I was thinking about my mom, because my mom was in the stands and she was at home plate, and his mom thought he was going to get shot when he was rounding third. There were FBI agents everywhere. And they were thinking someone in the Atlanta crowd was going to shoot Hank Aaron. He goes, man, when I hit third base, I thought right then and there I was going to get shot and killed. And I'm coming down, and I'm thinking, over a guy hitting a baseball out of the park? So freaking awful. And his first person he hugged was his mom. And she goes, what'd you say? She goes, she hugged me because she thought if someone shot him, they'd kill her instead, because she wanted to protect him.
That's crazy, man.
He's telling me this story, and I'm going, all over hitting a baseball.
You know, I thought I had it hard, man. Not even close, man. Not even close, man.
He's rounding third. He thought he was going to get shot. And he sees his mom, and he goes, oh, my God, my mom. They both thought they were both going to get shot and killed. And Hank's talking like, I'm going like, I still had that thing on a disc. And we're sitting there, and I go, you thought you were going to get – he goes, when I hit home plate, I thought I was going to get shot too. I thought it was over right there. And my mom –
I got to listen to that, man. You guys –
yeah, I have. And he goes, I thought – and my mom hugged me, and the governor – Jimmy Carter, who became president, and everybody was there. And I talked to Al Downing too, interviewed him. He's the guy that threw the pitch up. You know, guess who the guy caught the ball was in the outfield, where the home run was? Tom House, the quarterback guy that works with Brady.
Oh, get out.
the guy who's like the quarterback guru for Brady, Tom House, who works on his throwing motion.
Yep.
He's the guy that caught he's the guy that caught the baseball out there in the outfield, in the pitchers section out there at old Fulton County.
Wow.
Yeah, man. So many things. It was just, I don't even know how I got on Henry Aaron. He's just one of my favorite people. My wife, though, man, she's psychotic. So, Mrs. Brooks, you know this here.
Well, you know, I need to work with her then, because I'm the worst at getting guests. Dude,
you know what? What? You suck at this, and I'm going to help you here. You know 100 people. Bro, I'm getting okay. So, folks, I'm getting Bruce Arians on later on. He knows him, and by the way, I'm gonna tell him. He goes, "Hey, man, you make sure you tell him pork chop." That's what I guess Bruce called them, and I'm going like, "Oh, man, these people want to help you. Trust me when I tell you this."
Bro, I never asked. You know, I mean, even
that's your pride talking.
Even the stream tells me.
But that's your pride talking. That's your pride, man. Hey, Barrett, people love – hey, you got too good a personality, man. Too good a personality. You must have been a phenomenal teammate, because you're great to work with. And I hate – let me see. They tried to put people with me, and I would shit all over them. Oh my God, I was terrible. You know what's funny? I had a show in San Francisco, and it was called Brooks and Cilio.
Oh, get out!
It was Rod Brooks and Dan Cilio, but it was
Brooks,
Gary Radnich, Rod Brooks.
Rod is he a cornerback?
No. He's just a broadcaster from Houston. And he gets there, this lanky kid, and he taught me a lot about broadcasting. But Gary Radnich, who was like the staple up there forever, along with Limbaugh, they were like this. Years later, they said, that show is just too progressive. We talked race. We talked like, you'd be shocked what Rod Brooks would bring up. And I brought up his thesis paper. He went to LSU. You want to hear, watch this. And I'm just going to say a little of it because it makes me uncomfortable. Rod used to go like this. Why do you think all the great teams are in the southeastern part of the United States? And I went, I don't know. He goes, well, what do you think about it a little bit? My wife texts me, don't answer it. Don't answer it. Rod goes into this thesis about how African Americans were brought into the South.
Mm-hmm.
And we're doing this on the air, Barrett. Program director calls us in. Okay. They ripped that show apart. Got massive ratings. But we would talk about it, and I would bring it up. I didn't care. I brought up everything, man, under the sun.
Bro, yeah. It's just having natural conversations. Like I try to approach this show like I'm talking at the barbershop, man.
Yeah, but you get in trouble when you do that, man, because that, you know what truth is? Truth is controversial. I learned this. People go like this. Cilio's one of the most controversial guys in the history of sports radio. And I go, I don't wake up in the morning going, hey, do you think I can light a fire under someone's ass here? I've never done that. I've never. However, I try to get topics that there's two sides to that we can pick an opinion on, and we can go back and forth. By the way, the fact that you disagree with me on many topics is great. Who wants to talk to yes guys?
Right, exactly. I mean,
okay,
you guys,
who wants to go there with that? I hate that.
My glass is always half full, but I know how to articulate it in a way in which I'm not.
You're better at it.
Yes, I'm not just a guy that looks through the world in rose-colored glasses. No, I disagree with a lot of stuff, and I can't say shit sometimes also. But I just choose to go through it like that because I've always worked with somebody that's like you. We're contrasting. We have contrasting styles like me and Seth. Seth hates everything. Seth
man.
I sat there and we watched the Eagles beat a team 55 to 33 or something crazy like that. And he picked the defense apart. I'm like, dude, they just won though. Yes, it's not always about you winning, but it's how you win. I'm like, Seth, all right, bro. All right. So we went back and forth. We would go back and forth on our pregame and postgame show all the time. But he just has to be a contrarian to everything. But that's just how he works. That's a relationship.
That's also a defensive guy and an offensive guy.
That's exactly what it is. You defensive guys just hate everything. That's what y'all just hate everything, man.
Dude, my daughter now, she'll do this. And you know what? I say this. So she plays a great rugby game. They're going to the playoffs now. And if they win these two games, they're going to play for the national championship. So my daughter, killing it, man. She's the captain of her team too.
Congrats, bro. Congrats. So,
oh God, I'm so proud to be Danielle Cilio's father. I'm just very proud to be her father, and she's great. And then and I'm gonna go. I wonder what she's gonna. I didn't play. I didn't make that tackle. That's it. And my wife gets very aggravated, and then she looks over at me, and then my daughter looks over at me, and I go, I just hate myself, man. And she goes like this. Why? I go, because you're so much like me. It's just, I'm never satisfied. I'm never happy. Everything sucks out loud. I mean. And so she's like, well, this is your fault, Dad. And I'm going like, okay, yeah, all right. Do we have to take a time out here?
No. Okay. We're going to extra 15 minutes anyways. We're going to extra 15 minutes anyways, everyone. So
hold on. Let's get it from the police officer here. Yes, we have to take a time out, he said.
Why? All right, let's take a break.
All right, man.
All right, Xander.
All right, Xander.
Break us, Xander.
Okay. Hey, Barrett Brooks, Dan Cilio back in.